Hi, welcome to Allie's Space to Craft. And I've just posted two videos of pages, a one-page layout and a two-page layout. So I thought it was time to do a card. So I did this at my retreat. I still had my papers and sentiments in my little bag left over from my cruise, and so I had these two beautiful My Mind's Eye 6x6 papers. I think they were Gingham Garden, maybe. No, not Gingham. Yes, maybe Gingham Garden. I love the small floral, and then I thought I would fussy cut one of the large florals out to be a focal point of the card. So I decide to ink it. I'm using tea dye for the ink, kind of a light brown. And then I kind of like the backside of this paper too. And I think, well, let's maybe add that as an additional layer on this card. My initial plan was just to do a single, but I think it'll look better with this extra paper layer on there. Decide to make it a little thinner. And then I have a ready-made sentiment from Paper Rose, and it's just the perfect color to go with some of the flowers in this floral print. So I should have cut this at this point. Instead, I glue it down first, and then I cut it. So I am going to show you the fussy cutting. I think I end up fussy cutting 3 flowers. It might just be 2. I don't really remember. I'm using my Fiskars Spring loaded scissors. It's not a super long blades, but they are really great for fussy cutting. And when I fussy cut, I hold the scissors at a little bit of an angle away from me, and then I move the paper. And that makes it pretty easy to fussy cut. So here I've got this really big cluster of flowers that I'm going to try and fussy cut. So it's not too difficult. It's fussy cutting, so it is a little fussy. It takes a little bit of time. And there are a few little twigs. I think this twig coming up here that I decided not to cut because it would just be a little too flimsy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that one off. But then these leaves I keep on there, I think. Oh, maybe I didn't. I did not keep those leaves on there. So I am simplifying the image just a little bit. And you can do that, especially if you're not leaving a large halo around it. And I'm trying not to leave a super large halo. And then if you do, and there's, a little bit of the image still showing on there, a little ink hides any imperfections in your fussy cutting or anything that you cut off. I'm just taking a look and seeing if there's anything on there that I need to cut. I think I do an extra leaf somewhere for the other flower, for the smaller flower. So that is kind of my plan. I'm going to tuck that image in, and here I decide I'm going to go ahead and take these leaves and add them to the other flower since it didn't have any leaves with it. And so now I think we're just ready for assembly. So even with all the fussy cutting, I spent about less than 30 minutes on this page. Maybe it was right at 30 minutes, but that included all this fussy cutting time. Looks like I'm doing another small flower. All right, and I do remember to ink everything. And like that, two functions. It helps hide imperfections, and then it just helps it pop off the page a little bit. So I'm going to glue this down. This is where I should have stuck the other piece of paper on it first. Do what I say, not what I do, because it would have been a lot easier to trim this properly had I not done that first. All right. And I'm going to pop up the flower. And this is some pretty thin, I think it's 1 mil adhesive, foam adhesive tape. It's pretty nice though, easy to work with. And for this one, I have not put this on a card base yet. I just did basically the card front. And this will go on a card base, but it will fill up the whole size of the card base. I cut it the size of a card, I believe. And then we're going to add these other florals. And because I was going to stick that down flat, I decided to sort of tuck those under just a little bit. And as a finishing touch, I'm going to add some Nuvo drops in kind of a coppery gold. I check out a gold and a copper, and I think I decide on the copper. It's got some orange in it. And there's some orangey flowers, and that's just the right color. So now I think that's it. I think I managed to lift it without smudging any of my little dots. And we'll hold it up so you can get a close-up look at it. So thanks for watching, and come back for more. I've got at least another card to do and several more pages. Thanks a lot, you guys.